Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 21st episode of Gaming After Dark. I'm your host, Mr. Boom Boom Kaboom and Noof Nukem, and I'm here with the always lovely and talented.
Primal Eve.
That's right, Primal is in the house. Not only have we stacked the cards tonight with myself and Primal, but we have a man who's got nerves of steel, balls of steel. He is the real deal. He is Mr. Kris Steel. You may have seen him before on BGST. He has also been a member of various other podcasts. He is a co-host and of the Double Penetration podcast. And like I said, if you watch any type of podcasts, especially gaming related, chances are you probably heard Mr. Kris Steel talk. He certainly knows his gaming. He can articulate with the best of us. And the best part as well is Kris Steel is no stranger to the nitty gritty, the kind of shit that me and Prom will get down with. So I think he'll fit right in here tonight. Mr. Kris Steel, my friend, how are you? And welcome. It has been a long time coming, but we were happy to have you. What's up?
Oh, just hanging out. See, has been a long time coming because way back when, I don't know when, maybe March or sometime, Noof had asked me to be a part of this program or of various other ones that he has had hosted. And I've always like, man, it's too late for me. I'm a early riser at 4:30 in the morning. So 10 p.m. on Wednesday nights or Tuesday nights, that is a little rough for me. But here I am on vacation, and I made a mental note in my head, get a hold of Noof Nukem and broadcast some excellence with him.
Absolutely. That is what we're striving for tonight. We got lots of topics. Some of them are a little bit on the lighter side, but we are certainly going to dive balls deep into those, right, Primal?
Yes, sir.
How you feeling, Primal? What's up? What's been going on with you, girl?
I have had fucking food poisoning since like Wednesday. Okay. Talk about double penetration. It does not feel good getting it from both ends. Okay. I have been so fucking weak and sick and I haven't eaten anything. I want meat so bad. It's not even funny, but apparently I can't eat red meats right now. It's going to clog me up, whatever. I don't care. I'm about to go and find me a big slab of meat and just eat it. I don't care if it's cooked or not. But
sounds like you've been going deep on those those fucking long hot dogs that are just about expired at the fucking supermarket.
I don't know. It was I honestly think somebody had made dinner and I think it was some raw cock. I had some raw cock and it didn't go down well, Noof. But on a positive side, I was able to get some gaming in, and I managed to play through Detroit Become Human. Holy shit, I am so in love. I am like, I don't know, I'm above and beyond happy that they added that to PlayStation Plus. And then a shout out to Draven Nero for sending me a copy of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, the game I was trying to mooch last episode. So I just want to give him like a big thank you, and I am enjoying it. It's hard as fuck. It's beautiful, but it's hard as fuck. So that's what I've been up to lately. That and Apex.
Nice. I have not been doing as much gaming as I'd like. I've been fucking flat out working, not to mention last week I was sick. I had a lot of things that just kind of kept me away from my console. Mr. Kris Steel, brother, what's been happening with you? What have you been playing? What's been keeping you up at night besides perhaps Viagra or a hot woman?
See, I've been playing like if anybody has followed me on BGST, they knew that I loved Injustice 2 and bouncing around in the multiverse. I love doing that shit. I love grinding for gear. And now here's Mortal Kombat 11, taking the grind kind of to a whole new level. I steadily put in a good 5 hours yesterday trying to unlock the I think they call it the lower courtyard or the central courtyard or something like that in the crypt. And I finally did that. I finally got all that unlocked, and I feel like all right, now that I got it unlocked, I only have a few like soul chests, and I got all the heart chests unlocked. Now what's next? I mean, I've already kind of re-upped the you can basically respawn the treasure chests, but you can only get so many concept art before you get bored.
Oh, it sounds like you had a good time playing with chests, and that's always good.
Well, one cannot complain.
Fantastic. Let's give a big shout out to the amazing chat who show up here week in, week out. They have been a staple of this podcast. So first and foremost, Mr. Timothy Dixon. What's going on, Timothy? Fastback is in the house. We have also got Eternal Shaddai, Anime Heaven X23. What's happening, guys? Spider-Man 356 is always swinging on through here. We've got Dravenero is in the house. Dravenero, how you doing, brother? Jeepers Creeper is in the house. The Indie Gamer is hanging out with us again. Crispy Bomb is here. Ashtray Gaming. Cyber Gunter, my brother, what is up, dude? I hope you're having a good evening. Yeah, so we got a great crew with us already, and I'm sure we'll get some more stragglers coming in here in a bit. Should be great. Hopefully we can get back to last week. We had some pretty good numbers here as we hit over 50 for a first time. I know that's chump change for a lot of people, but we appreciate each and every
yeah, that was awesome.
Yobi Drain's in the house. What's going on, Yobi?
Oh, I also want to just make a quick little thing. If I disappear all of a sudden, just blame it on the food poisoning. I'm just giving you a heads up. It probably will happen more than once.
Yeah, she's like a hottie with an asshole shoddy right now, right?
you know, Noof, I do have a wonderful soundboard.
Woo!
So if we do lose Primeval, I will hit this promptly, just so everybody knows that if they aren't here at the start of the show, but here at midway through, I think they will catch on.
Cool.
It sounds pretty fucking accurate. It's horrible.
All right, I like that already. Hey, I could have an embarrassing story for you too, but we'll get to that a little bit later on in the chat. Tryhard Fan is here. What is happening, brother? Jigo Kukin is bringing the power back into the house. What's happening, dude? Yes, Chris. On this podcast, I like to make sure that I give everybody that shows up here a nice little shout out because you know and I know, man. Without them, each and every one of them that comes out, spends 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or the whole fucking show with us, we wouldn't be here doing this if we didn't have great people behind us. So I think they definitely deserve it. And we got a great chat. We got a lot of the same people come out here each and every week, and they're fucking phenomenal. Nice. None of that bullshit, none of this fucking back and forth. You get the odd one here and there, but I think for the most part, people will keep it real here, and they know that we're here to talk gaming, we're here to talk movies, we're here to talk all sorts of stuff, and just have a bit of fun. Rectangle, hey, there's a new person I have not seen. Rectangle, how are you doing? I hope you're not having a love triangle. That's right, or a circle jerk. There we go. It's Noof being witty again. All right. Let's get into some topics, shall we? Let's go moving on here before we lose Primal for the evening. I'm going to start off with this one. Hand it over to you guys. Maybe Chris, you can elaborate. I'm seeing some reports about this, and I'm seeing some people kind of ignore it. I'm sure a lot of people will make stuff of it and other people won't. I don't know. It depends on which spectrum you're on. I want to quickly dive into the whole, PlayStation Network security issue that, some people are, alluding to and some people are ignoring. So is it an issue at all? Is it just a couple of odd circumstances? What do you think? Can we trust PlayStation at this point in time? They've had some major security infractions before that weren't remedied overly well. So, and I'll start with our guest on this one. For those, maybe just give us a little bit of a background, Chris, for those who don't know you. I mean, what kind of consoles are you playing? Are you a PC guy? What kind of stuff are you into? And then elaborate on this topic.
I'm die-hard Atari Lynx. That's all I play. I don't care about Xbox no more, PlayStation. Whoever heard of that? Atari Lynx is all about me. I'm old school.
There you go. Even if he's on console, he's all about that pussy.
Mm-hmm. Screw Nintendo Switch, Atari Lynx. A Lynx is like a cat. Prowls. It's powerful. What's a Switch? Flip it on and off. Who cares? I think with Sony, it could potentially be a bigger problem down the road. We don't really know. Unless I'm wrong. I don't know if they've really said how many accounts were compromised. Probably definitely not as much as the first breach. Until we really know any sort of real numbers and how much identity theft really occurred. I don't want to say it's a non-issue. It's an issue with an asterisk, I guess would probably be the best way. Gotcha. That's what I would think. I don't know how much of a problem it is, just because you really don't see the widespread panic like there was a few years ago now.
Sure. Yeah, I really haven't had any issues too much so far. Me personally, you know what I mean? Let's give a shout out to the chat. We got some new people. Mojo Blues is in the house. Ron Hale, what is happening? Ahsan Rashid, what's up, brother? Thanks for stopping by. Philly Eagles in the house as well. What's going on? Yeah, because you're going to see some people blow this out of proportion, right? Some people want to make an article about it so they can make, whoever look bad. And then there's other people that don't talk about it at all. So it's always, it's hard to say. Maybe anyone in the chat, And let's go to the chat, and then we'll go over to Primal. Anybody in the chat, have you had any issues security wise, or say credit card and stuff with either Xbox, Sony, or Nintendo? I'd like to know in the chat. So type it if you've had an issue with Xbox, Sony, or Nintendo, either which way. I want to know from the chat just to kind of gauge of how many issues we might have. And this is just on a small scale. We only got about 24 people in the house here, but let me know if you've had any issues. I'll point it out in the chat. Primal, how about yourself? Any issues with PlayStation at all? What do you think of this? Is this a big deal, or is it just somebody trying to make a mountain out of a molehill?
I don't know. It just kind of feels like deja vu. Like, why is this even a thing? It's kind of repetitive. I know there was a big thing like years and years and years ago with the Lizard Squad hitting up both Xbox and Sony, but it seems like Xbox has tightened up their security, and Sony was kind of just like, "Oops," like we'll just keep on going, and it seems like to be almost a continuous situation, and shame on you, type thing. If you've made the mistake once, twice, now it's just like everybody should be at the point where, hey, don't save your shit on Sony at all, period. Just don't do it. I personally haven't used anything on there. Xbox, I've never had any issues with. Their customer service has been back and forth kind of, but so far, if there has been any issues, I had something with Gears of War a while back. It was a minor issue where they didn't actually give me the game after I had pre-ordered it, and it was the day of the release, like it never went through type thing. But they ended up fixing it, and it wasn't that big of a deal. But of course, I'm like, do you know who I am? To them, because I've done a lot of work with them, and I've done some shit and whatever, and I'm sure they've had heard me 100 million times, like, oh, it's that Primal Eve chick again. But other than that, no. And I feel like Sony is just so repetitive. Like, get your shit together. You've done this before. Time to actually put some time, money, effort, focus, whatever you need to do to tighten up your shit, because people are just not going to trust you. They're not going to be more willing to download stuff on. Sorry, I'm also reading in the chat too. Just, I don't know. They just need to get their shit together. But then again, they're always behind. They're behind everybody. It doesn't even matter. So
correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they just get two-step verification not too long ago?
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah. They're so fucking behind that it's like by the time they get their shit straight, we're going to be on like the PS10.
Right. Well, I think a large part falls on each and every company. Their first and foremost is their product. Obviously, too, a lot of us need to go back and read a lot of those contracts that basically you sign off on every time you fire up a new console these days. There's always user terms and agreements, and they basically do state in most things that they're not infallible, more or less to cover their own ass. I think it can happen to anyone. I think it's partly on us too as gamers. That we make too many easy passwords, and we're trusting cards way too much these days. I prefer to go into the store and buy like the credit, those cards. You just take your credit card and go into a store and buy the virtual points, credit basically. Or whatever, the points basically, and buy it that way. That's what I've normally do. So I try to do most of my subscriptions that way. I just feel it's safer overall, but hopefully things improve. Let's see where the chat is saying here right now. Let's go. We got a few new people in here as well. Let's just catch up to where we're at here. Easy Money 4K, what is happening, brother? Thanks for stopping by. Shirlene Butler, what's happening, dude? Thanks for stopping in and checking out the podcast. Jay Slayer Jay is in the house as well. What's up, Jay Slayer? Let me see. Anime Heaven said he had an issue with PlayStation. Easy Money said never any of them. Philly Eagle, PS3 killed Sony forever for him. Their security's dumpster juice, according to him. Crispy Bomby had a fraud attempt on PlayStation. Timothy Dixon had never issues on Xbox. Jeepers Creepers, nope, never. But now that you said it, I probably will. Jago's never issues with PlayStation. Ashtray, no issues thus far. Yeah, so it seems like, a few people, obviously the issues seem to be a little more prevalent with Sony, which is not necessarily surprising, but I think, like I said, nobody is infallible. So yeah. So just be careful of the guys, like I said, maybe just, go out and buy the cards or whatever. You got something you want to chime in there with Primal, baby?
No, I'm giggling about Kegels from what Jago said. That Sony needs to do Kegels.
Kegel. What the hell is Kegel?
Tighten their shit up.
I never even heard of that before. You have to
You've never
explain to me
heard of
now.
Kegels? Are you
I've
kidding
never
me?
heard of Kegels, but
I still Kegel to this day. That's why I probably have like whatever. Anyway, well, that and also I haven't gotten any in years, but it's
Man, what kind of show is this?
Kegels, like I learned about Kegels after my kid fell out of my vagina, and what's supposed to happen is like it's supposed to tighten up your vaginal muscles. That's probably why you never heard of Kegels. Why would you? You should have to tighten up your pussy or anything. But no, that's what Kegels are for.
All right, I'm gonna ask the wife later on tonight. How's your Kegels? What you been doing?
No, and they actually have balls. They have balls for you to Kegel on. Put them in, and you're supposed to squeeze her out in. It's supposed to help your muscles.
So what are you bench pressing when you're Kegeling?
Fucking Xbox controllers.
Primal's got a couple of melons on her chest. She probably bench presses those bastards. If not, I'll come over and visit you. I'll bench press them for you. Oh man, what's going on, Brian F? Brian Baker. We got a double dose of Brian's in here. We know Brian Baker's Mr. Delirium Blades. What's going on, Delirium? Talia, sorry, missed one here in the chat here. We got a lady in here. Thalia Granilio Alvarado. Hope I pronounced that right, but Thalia, hopefully I got that right. If not, I apologize in advance. But yeah, Crispy Bomb. What's that? CSEC. What the hell? What was he talking about? Yeah. Kegel quiffing. Okay. Queefing, I think you should say.
Hot.
Jay Slayer said Primal needs to make an instruction video on this. There you go, Primal. That's how you get to your first 100,000 subs. Easy.
Hey, I do Kegel while I game. It could be like a stream thing.
You do have chicks on there painting their breasts. Why not Kegel while you do it?
Absolutely. You might have to Kegel your butthole tonight if you have any issues. So
that is true.
Queef. I just love that. There you go. Queef for
no idea. It's like having fucking anal all day, every day. It's fucking killing me. I don't mind it, and I can definitely do it, but this wasn't welcome.
Chris over here, like, yeah, is this a gaming podcast? What the fuck is going on?
Hey man, I'm used to the
I know you are.
The hijinks, if you will.
I know you are. That's why I thought you would be the perfect fucking guest, because you are no stranger to this kind of stuff here right now. Too far to the left, you're at. Kegel your butthole. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on past the whole security issue thing, because like I said, it's easy to blow that shit out of proportion. Let's talk about something that was quite interesting, and I never saw this one coming. Pardon the pun here. But yeah, looks like Netflix is about to get some head, and we're talking about Cuphead. Yes, the game is now going to be a show, and it's on Netflix. And no, it's not a porno. It is about your two lovable, animated cups. You got Cuphead and Mugman, and they're going to have some adventures on Netflix, which is kind of cool. I'm interested to watch it. I love the game. Hopefully, the animated show is, is whimsical and funny, and I bet you it won't be as hard.
Yeah.
It'll be something I can actually like go through.
That's the difference between Cuphead the game and Cuphead the show, is that most of us will actually be able to get through a full episode.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah, you're bad at Cuphead. And maybe those reviewer guys that couldn't get past the thing, they'll try watching Cuphead and like, oh, too hard. Can't get through it.
For some reason, we keep starting on episode 3. I don't understand what's going on. This game's hard. It's the
button, show. The A button doesn't work. I keep pressing, Mugman doesn't respond. So what do you think of this, Chris?
The news, it took me by surprise. I like Cuphead. I think it's a really pretty looking game. It's second to none as far as like in that type of class. You don't see hand-drawn animation like that in video games. So that's really cool to see Cuphead become a TV show. Now, I wonder if it's going to be animated similarly to the art style of the game, or is it going to kind of get that weird, like, 90s
what, the Battletoads weird fucking art?
Yeah, maybe not so like that weird, but probably, it's probably not going to be, 1930s style, but maybe in the vein, they'll have some of that same type of music and sound effects. But, I'll give it a whirl. I'm already a subscriber to Netflix, so it's not like it's going to cost me anything extra other than time. So why not?
Absolutely agree with you. Just to change the subject, but I'm just curious. Are you a fan of that new Battletoads game art style, the whole Nickelodeon sort of look to it? Are you? And I want to get Primal's take too. Do you like that art
No,
style?
last year, before E3 on BGST, I predicted that there would be a 2.5D animated Battletoads. Now, I did
Right?
not expect it to be quite so Saturday morning cartoon. I feel like they maybe dropped the ball slightly because Rash looks so cool in Killer Instinct, and I thought we all kind of thought
Yes.
maybe that's the way that they would go because they kind of had somewhat of a head start. Maybe not a head start in gameplay wise, but maybe in like character design wise, because everybody who played Killer Instinct like the way
Yeah.
Rash looks. So
Totally.
I feel like maybe it's going to be in Game Pass, and I got Ultimate now until sometime next year or the year after that. So I'll be able to play it for nothing.
Absolutely. Primal, what about you? You a fan of that Saturday morning cartoon look for battle? I mean, I don't even know if most people even really give a shit about the game, to be honest. I don't know. Like, I was modestly excited. Now I'm less excited, personally. But what do you think?
Well, it's weird because it wasn't what you accepted, and I can't say it's bad. It's just it's different. It's not
Yeah.
what I thought I was going to be seeing. Either way, I'm probably not even going to play it anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But no, it's just like I can't always give something a hard time because they change the art style and direction. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I remember this is like a rewind back to the early 2000s, but Xenosaga episode 1, 2, and 3. Uh, it was a great. The first episode was fantastic. The second episode went really, really downhill because they changed the art style to more of like a realistic. They used to have like a more anime JRPG type style. Then they tried to go realistic, and they lost a lot of people, and it was probably the worst one in the series. And then they ended up jumping right back. So maybe
Sure.
if it does poorly,
Right.
they can do another one where the art style is completely different. But I can't I don't know, I can't talk shit on it because they put in the hard work and effort into doing that decision.
Yeah. At the end of the day, gameplay is king, right? I mean, the looks are secondary to how the game plays. I think if it's fun, it's fast, and obviously, it has a little bit of a challenge to it, I think people will gobble it up. It's probably going to be reasonably priced, and obviously, if it's going to be in Game Pass day one and date, a lot of people will definitely probably give it a try. I figure at worst case scenario, it's probably going to be a traditional Battletoads, fairly hard, which means you just might croak a lot.
Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, the fromage off of that one. Oh, but anyway, Primal, what about the Cuphead TV show? Not to get too distracted here. Like, does
Um,
that excite your bones at all?
Really quick, no, not really, because the game pissed me off to begin with, so I have no interest. But I'm sure my kid will. That's for sure. She'll be all over it. But no, I think it's pretty neat. I hope it's not. I don't know. It's so scary to sometimes have something split up into two different media directions, and I hope it's just like I don't know. I hope one doesn't kill the other type thing, and that they can just be harmonious. That's all I can hope for. Because I'm
All
just
right,
still like, oh,
let's
sorry.
go to the panel and then to the
Flashback
chat.
history.
Cuphead or Mugman? Which one do you take? Cuphead or Mugman? Chat, pick your favorite of the two. I know they're nearly identical, but it looks like one cup is a little bigger than the other one. Jago says, "Cut my balls."
Isn't that usually the case?
So, yeah. Who would you take? Kris, Cuphead or Mugman? I know it's a tough question.
I feel like Mugman, or Mugman, right? I think he's a bit of a cuckold, so I'm gonna go with Cuphead.
Primal, Cuphead or Mugman?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, so I never made it that far. Sure, let's go with bugs.
Well, the two characters, Mugman's the little blue guy, and Cuphead's the one with the red pants or whatever. You know what I mean?
So they do look exactly the same. They're just different colors.
They're actually a little bit different. I think Mugman's kind of like slimmer.
It's
I
kind of
think
like
they-
Mario and Luigi, how they're kind of
I like them. I like them a little bigger, so I'll go with Cuphead.
We're straw man, right?
Hey, when's the lady? What's her name? The tea girl, the teacup gal in the DLC.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, I don't know what her name is, but there you go. So easy money goes with Mugman. Fastback from Mugman. Eternal should die. If I take Mugman, sound like somebody gonna stab me one. Blue is better than red according to Philly Eagles. So there you go. Looks like he's going with Mugman. Chalice. Yes, that would be the
That's
name.
her name.
Somebody always knows in the chat, eh? It's always Chalice.
Right.
Axel 1324. What's up? Truth F7. What's happening? Truth. How you doing? Yeah. Who did we miss? Who else we missed in the chat? Did we miss anybody? Anybody not get a shout out
I
to?
feel like we're forgetting.
Distracted by life. What's going on? Distracted by life. I'm always distracted by my life. All right. But anyway, didn't want to get too far off track here. I think that's pretty much an open closed topic. Who plans on watching it? People in the chat. I want to watch it. I'll give it a couple episodes a shot anyway, and see if it's whimsical and funny. And if not, well, it's on fucking
I'm sure
Netflix.
I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a go. A couple episodes, maybe.
There you go. Primal's ready to.
So they're going to
cut
cost
some
you
head for a couple
time
episodes.
and bandwidth.
Right? I know.
Time and bandwidth. There you go, baby. It's all about the size of your bandwidth. Axel's going to watch it. Easy Money says he'll check it out. Jago Coogan says he's not subscribed to Netflix. What the fuck's wrong with you? You're the only guy on the planet, Jago?
Subscribe to Netflix to watch Netflix shows. Just saying. Saying.
Rectangle's going to try it.
From an internet wizard.
Netflix says, yeah, check it out. Awesome. Well, it sounds like most people will at least give it a chance, so that's always promising. Netflix definitely in dire need of some shows now that it seems like everybody and their son is starting their own streaming service and pulling shit off of there. So that is part of the equation, isn't it? Let's get back into some other topics, shall we? Well, speaking of Cuphead, let's segue into this one. Apparently, it's now sold over 4 million, according to a twistedvoxel.com article. So that's pretty impressive numbers. What do you guys think about that? Let's go with you on this one first. Primal, over 4 million. Nothing to turn your nose about, right?
Yeah, that's nothing. No, it is pretty impressive, and having numbers like that is pretty exciting. It's almost like us going over 30 right now. is what it's like. But yeah, I don't. It's hard for me, New, because I don't know, because I had such a hard time with it that I'm just like, okay. But I'm glad people are enjoying it, and it's nice to see a game actually be successful, not just on one console or anything like that. It's always a good thing to see anything
it's not on PlayStation
without
yet,
having people. It's another one of those rare games that you don't see a lot of people talking shit about, and it's where gamers can come together and agree on something. I like seeing that, even though it hurt my feelings. But no, I think it's fantastic.
Jeez, according to the chat, Netflix better fucking turn up their game. It looks like lots of people unsubscribing. That's kind of weird. That was almost like a must-have a while back, and they're definitely going downhill. Well, they're like I said, they're losing a lot of shows, and like even for me, I actually unsubbed earlier this year, and the only reason I resubbed up is because of Stranger Things, the show. But like for me, it was just there's just not a lot of stuff that makes me want to watch it. By the time they get a lot of the new release movies, they're fucking fairly old, and I probably already bought them or seen them somewhere else. And then they're losing all their like the Marvel shit and they're making all these shows. It's like most of their stuff now is they're just making all these shows that I have no interest in watching. Like I want to watch big blockbuster movies. I don't want to just sit there and watch like 500 shows I never fucking heard of because they made them, and then they're charging you all the extra for these shows. But whatever.
Well, I'm one of these. I'm one of those people that's able to find things without having to be subscribed to things. And but there is like I am looking forward to The Witcher. That's probably it. I still have to do Stranger Things. I haven't even finished season 2 yet. I only got like a few more episodes left, and then I can get 3. But
are you like that one girl who finds 10 dildos under the bed, although you have no recollection of ever buying one at the store?
Always. I probably open my drawer right now and reach in and fucking feel some rubber. But no, like I don't know. It's even with Hulu, it's starting like Hulu has some stuff that I look into. Like they have a movie series called Into the Dark, and I catch those every once in a while. But lately, there just really hasn't been anything that I can dedicate myself to. It's all.
Gotcha. What the fuck were even? Oh yes, we're talking about the sales on Cuphead, right? Chris, how about yourself, man? It was a pretty impressive number, right? I mean, it helped a lot that I think that it's done some big sales on Switch. Which certainly didn't hurt the case. And it looks like the developer as well, like they got some DLC coming out, which they postponed and pushed into 2020. They say they just wanted to be perfect and they don't want to rush and they don't want to burn themselves out trying to make it. So, that's always a good sign. But give us your take just on the game and the sales and what it means for a small dev like this, and perhaps even what it means for other developers who might be willing to take a little bit more risks, knowing that people like CDMR or CDH or whatever the fuck they're called, are able to get some success.
It's Studio MDHR, Noof. I'll
There you
correct
go.
you. No, I think it's great for them. For guys that I think they had to mortgage their houses and basically put everything up to make this game. I think it's pretty incredible. I honestly thought it sold more than 4 million, so I feel like 4 million's a little low, but maybe that's just me kind of thinking that it should have did better than 4 million. But I feel like it's good for them, and I'm glad that it's on the Switch. I feel like Cuphead will probably be one of those games that's going to be everywhere. I think it's going to get a mobile port. I could see it coming to PlayStation 4 eventually. I just feel like Cuphead's it's going to be not necessarily a worldwide phenomenon as far as a game, because it already is, but I feel like Cuphead's going to be one of those games that it's just going to start popping up in more and more places. I wouldn't be surprised to see it on mobile soon.
Well,
Oh,
what's crazy,
definitely.
I walk into stores now, like I've been into some stores, and there's like fucking merchandise, and I'm like, man, like you wouldn't think a game like Cuphead would have so much merchandise, but I've seen T-shirts and mugs. As a matter of fact, I actually have a really cool mug. I've seen a bunch of different things with that on it, and that's pretty good marketing for such a
Right.
small studio. So they must have something there, like they must have struck a nerve with gamers and stuff to have that kind of clout already.
Yeah, they definitely got they have cool characters, and that's the thing that people like. People like seeing cool characters. They're fun looking to look at. They're familiar to look at because they kind of have that Mickey Mouse look, but not really, but they kind of do. So people like that. That's why I think I was drawn to Cuphead. Um, I don't know. It's Cuphead's just one of those games, right?
Absolutely. Well, as hard as it is, it's fun. It's whimsical. Reminds you of the old style, the old style games. But yet that animation, it just looks amazing. It's one of the first games I've ever been really impressed with because it looks so close to an actual cartoon that, for honest to God, it's almost like if you were watching somebody play this and didn't see a controller, you'd almost literally say they were playing a cartoon. So.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it very much so is. You are playing the cartoon, but yeah, it's definitely got it's a league of its own as far as its art style. I don't think you'll never see. I don't want to say never, but yeah, for the foreseeable future, I don't think we'll see a game like Cuphead's art style unless they do it more so on a computer and make it look hand drawn as opposed to actually being hand drawn.
Absolutely. I think the one thing myself and Mooch we agreed on they could use some more of those side-scrolling levels in the game instead of kind of all
Yeah.
boss fights. I think
Mm-hmm.
more of that. If they ever make a sequel, more of that, please, and just less on the boss fights, and maybe have it maybe a little bit more accessible.
Game
So
is
that if you're
hard.
not, so if you're stuck at a fucking boss for like a fucking hour, like I don't know, throw you a bone or something. I don't know what they got to do, but just make it a little bit more accessible.
Well, they do got the easy mode, but it's still not so easy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Still
It
tough.
was not.
There
It's
is
still
easy.
tough. Even there is a mode that you can pick from the gate, and basically what it does is instead of a boss having usually like 4 segments, it brings them down to like 3, and they don't mix up their attacks quite as much because if you're playing on hard or the regular mode, the boss will sometimes throw different things into the mix. It's not always the same sequence of actions, so it makes it a little harder to memorize the sequences.
Oh, there's hope for me still then.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, you play it with a friend. I said this to Mooch too. It's weird because you can play friend local co-op, but I actually find the game is harder with a friend in local co-op because your friend is almost like, unless they know exactly what they're doing, it's almost like distracting because then you have something else, like another character, kind of bouncing around the screen. So sometimes you don't see the projectiles and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely a bullet hell game when you have so many things going on in that game all at once, especially the flying level with the pyramid. Man,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I'm at, and that's where I got stuck at, and that's where I've left off.
Yeah, that second island. Fuck, I got through the first one, but that second island's been a bitch for me. Let me
Oh
tell you.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, no. Some people have breezed through it fairly well. I've seen some playthroughs or people they just have a knack for those things, and I totally agree. For some people, they're extremely hard. Some people they're I wouldn't say easy, but some people definitely make that game look a little easier than it certainly
Right.
is. That's for
I'm
sure.
reinstalling it right now.
At least it's not too
Give
big.
it another shot.
At least it's not too big. Let's move into some
Never
more
too big.
topics. Well, speaking of Netflix and things, I think this was on there tonight. One of our topics was about Stranger Things. Now, I don't know if you guys have watched that show. It's obviously one of Netflix's biggest, hottest properties. That property itself has gone on to already become sort of a pop culture phenomenon. People know the name. There's shirts, there's merch, and usually when there's shirts and merch, and you're only a couple of seasons to a show, you're fucking doing something right, right? So I don't know. I wanted to get your guys' take. Do either one of you even watch that show? Well, yes. So try not to spoil it in case you haven't seen it. I won't give anything away. But either one, Chris, take the floor.
I can't spoil it, so don't you folks worry. I've gotten 4 episodes into the season 1 and I'm bored and I gave up.
There you go. So we got a no from Mr. Kris Steel, is giving it the steel thumbs down, it looks like, on this one.
I mean, maybe I'll give it a whirl again in future
Okay.
endeavors, but maybe the first big snowstorm or something, I might give it another turn. But man, it's everybody, like when season 1 came out, everybody was like, oh, it's kind of like the Goonies. And I get it where people would make that comparison because it's a group of pals and they're going on an adventure. But when I hear like the Goonies, I hear more of like, I think more pirates and, not necessarily supernatural shit like that. So, yeah, I think that's maybe what turned me off, because I was thinking more along the lines of, the Goonies, as opposed to just being the kids, being friends.
The first season, I mean, technically, when you've seen the second and third, it definitely is a different pacing, obviously, right? There's a little more character development through the first season. As you get with a lot of shows, it's kind of the slow introduction, you're piecing things together, right? And then it starts to get going. So I pretty much binged the third season about 2 days. Loved the hell out of it. They're already setting themselves up for season 4, which is fantastic. But I'll hand it over to you, Primal. Do you even watch the show? What do you think of it? That sort of thing.
Yeah, I watched the first season. I made it halfway through the second season, and I think it was I either had fallen asleep or it was when I was having like the really bad health issues with my fucking parts and stuff last year. So I never was able to finish watching it, and I can't watch it without my kid because she'll beat the shit out of me. So I have to try and
She likes the show.
time. Oh yeah, she absolutely loves it. She made me change my ringtone. She wanted her alarm tone for school to be the Stranger Things theme and all this stuff, and she wants me to get her all the pops and whatnot. I'm like, you need a job, but no,
the show makes me want to eat Eggos. I don't know about you.
Oh my god, yes, Eggos. Seriously, I could not get away. I could not get away from Eggos for a while. But yeah, no, definitely. Plus, I love the whole like time frame, but it doesn't really have a time frame. It's kind of like, I don't know.
Stranger Things has done for Eggos what ugly kids have done for condoms. Which is probably fucking nothing, because nobody knows what a condom is anymore. What are those balloons you sell in that box?
Oh my god, such disgusting foul things, like with condoms, like not for their actual use.
I thought that's how you put rubber gloves together. You just had to do it individually.
Hey, not to give any hints, but something tells me the next Google, was it the next fucking YouTube craze will be someone fucking jizzing into a condom, putting it back in the box, probably.
Don't give them any ideas.
And you know what? That's so disgusting, but I would believe it. I actually had somebody. I don't. Oh, now I'm thinking about all these foul things. But there was a time during a certain employment that I had where an employee did it into somebody's cup during their break, and he thought it was the funniest thing in the world. It's so fucking disgusting what people do. Like, and that wasn't even for social media. That was for his own entertainment.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine like what the next thing is going to be.
Right.
If you want to transgress into that topic next, we can.
I had to return a box of condoms once. The lady said, "Why are you returning these condoms, sir?" I said, "Because one of them fucking broke. They're faulty." There you go. Jago, gross snoof. Jason, I'm going to the store right now. That is nasty. Yes, indeed. Well, as long as you're not regurgitating it, I guess, why does the condom have extra lube? I don't know. That's weird. You tell me. What the fuck were you talking about? Because I'm easily distracted here.
We were talking about Stranger Things.
Yeah, Stranger Things. Somehow we're getting into condoms. We're talking about egos. But yeah, go ahead. Finish what you're talking about on Stranger Things.
I don't fucking know. That's gone.
Well, who's your favorite? Well, here's one. Kris,
Who's my
obviously, I
favorite
haven't watched a couple
character?
episodes. Who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite character in the show?
My God.
I like Hellboy.
I can't give you because everybody has like a little place in my heart. Of course, some people will be like, it's 11, but no, like she's cool, she's badass, but she's not my favorite.
Right.
I don't know. Who's your favorite?
I really like Hooper obviously a lot, and I really like Dustin. There's something just dorky about Dustin. He kind of reminds me a little bit of me. Only I had more teeth at his age. I never really had a big gap or whatever. But he's kind of funny, and it's kind of neat too watching the kids grow up. Right, 3 seasons in, and you see how big they are now compared to the first year. Right?
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. But I love that. I love like watching shows and even like growing up with them, even with like Game of Thrones and watching all the kids grow up and just I don't know. It fascinates me. But then again, it also reminds me, hey, you're fucking getting old. So, oh yeah, but no, seriously, is it Justin or Dustin? Dustin. It is Dustin.
Yeah.
I think seeing him get older and kind of transform, like he still has like that face and the hair and that little goofy smile that I love, but he's getting older and it's crazy.
Yeah. No, they were at the Edmonton Comic Con last year. It was kind of cool.
I've seen hentai like 3 times.
Yeah, somebody's got a hentai thing going on in his chat there, and I don't know where we started talking about that, but
it came from. I didn't say anything about tentacles. Like, yes, my ass hurts right now, but it's not because of a tentacle. God.
But either way, like I said, no spoilers here. I'm loving the show. It sounds like Primal's quite loving the show as well. And the video game is out. Shout out to Indie Gamer in the chat who pointed it out to you. If you actually are a fan of the show, you can play the game. And apparently, watch the show before you play the game because the game follows the scripting of the show pretty well. So spoiler alert there if you jump in. And the cool thing with the game is it's actually done with like a Studio 3D overhead view, reminiscent of a lot of the 16-bit games, and it's done with sprite graphics. So it looks kind of cool. I'm actually tempted to drop a few bucks on it, go pick it up and check it out for myself. So that should be good. Anybody actually play the game that's in the chat right now? If they played it, and can you tell me if it's even worth dropping the money on? If you have, please let me know. Alrighty, let's move right along. Well, let's just keep it with the whole movie thing. Has anybody seen Spider-Man Far From Home yet? And what do you think? If you've seen it?
I've not seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Next.
Yeah.
Primal, you haven't seen it either?
Oh.
There you go. So we are all behind the times here. It looks like neither one of us have seen it. I heard it's the biggest grossing Spider-Man title so far, though. So that's something. But I don't know if that's major, but hey, there you go. Let's talk about this one. This one, interesting. Obviously, we're waiting for Rocksteady to come out and fucking make a new Batman game or make any game at this fucking point. Like, Rocksteady's been MIA since they brought out Arkham Knight. Nobody knows what the hell is going on. We've been hearing hints, but nothing's shown. Now, of course, I guess Warner Brothers and Rocksteady bring out this Arkham Collection game, which has Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and Batman Arkham Knight. Obviously omitted from this collection is Batman Arkham Origins. Now, is anybody on this panel, are you a fan of the Batman Arkham series? What do you think of this collection coming out again, considering what only last year, the year before last, they came out with the Arkham collection, which had the 2 games on it, but not the 3rd. We'll start with the guests on this one, Mr. Kris Steel. How about you, man? You a Batman fan? You like those games? And what do you think of Origins getting the fucking shaft again?
See, I love Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero. He's my favorite superhero to play as in the video games. I love the Arkham series. I think it's fantastic from top to bottom. Every single one of those games is great. I'm a little bummed out at Origins is being left out. I think it has something to do with like music rights or something. I think that's why it's never been on Bat Compat either. There's something weird going on, and that's a bit of a bummer. But
Origins is on Bat Compat.
Oh, Origins is? But not digitally though.
Probably not. No, I
Yeah, I
haven't
think
had the
not
disc yet.
digitally. Yeah, okay. So maybe that's why they don't have it on there, because they can't sell it digitally. That's kind of a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
I mean, they just did come out with the first two a couple years ago. So it's just Warner Brothers trying to keep the Batman Arkham mind share out there, I guess, like that, because maybe something's coming down soon.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like kind of stoking the fire, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which was your favorite of the Batman Arkham games? Can you have a favorite of those?
I think you can have a favorite. I know that a lot of people didn't like Arkham Knight because of the Batmobile shit, and I get that. But I'm such a Batman fanboy that I loved every second of it. But I think out of all of them, my favorite is probably Arkham Knight, just because of it's very open and big, and it's just fun to fly around. And I really enjoy the different skins that they give you to dress Batman up as. I feel like I really like the Batman Beyond skin the best.
Yeah.
So I really wished Rocksteady would make a Batman Beyond game, because it would look really cool in that neon world with HDR. That would look
Right.
sweet.
Yeah, or make a Batman animated series game with stylized graphics would be pretty cool on that engine, basically, right?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty dope. Primal, how about you? You think these guys are just trying to capitalize on franchise here? Are they stroking it a little bit too hard at this point, or what?
Yeah, sometimes it's like I don't know. For me, it's difficult to keep playing the same game over and over and over again. Like when they remastered Borderlands, I enjoyed playing through it, but then I'm like, do I really how many more playthroughs of this am I gonna do? Like, how many have I
Right.
done total? So I have yet to actually play every single one of the Arkham games.
Mm-hmm.
I have played Asylum. That is the
Okay.
only one. It's like it's like sacrilegious. I know, whatever. I don't care. But they are good games. I know they are. I've seen gameplay. I enjoyed the gameplay that I got out of Asylum, and but it's like, how many more times are you gonna keep on feeding us like the same thing over and over again? It's like the same thing with Assassin's Creed. Like, stop jamming Assassin's Creed down our throat. Like, I hope it doesn't. I hope they don't go the same route as they do. But maybe it's time. Hey, what about a new one?
Yeah.
And instead of just rehashing the same things over and over again, just give us another one. But I know it's too
Yeah,
much
I
work,
mean,
too much money, and blah
it's
blah
almost like
blah.
a Grand Theft Auto scenario. Like, who the hell does not have these games at this point, right? I mean, you got 3 games, I guess, in the collection, and they're all, I suppose, they got the HD treatment and stuff like that. That's one thing. Like with Batman Arkham Knight, it never did get, say, Xbox One X, upgrade or treatment. So that would have been cool if it actually did get it, but I don't think it will. I know the older games do look a lot better if you play them on the Xbox One X. They're definitely a little bit sharper and stuff like that. So there's a bonus to playing the older ones. Personally, I love the series. I can't wait to see what Rocksteady does with whatever game they bring out next. Hopefully another Batman. I've heard that Batman, that Warner Brothers Montreal, who did Arkham Origins, is in charge of another game. There's rumors, heavily rumored, that there is another game coming. So I really loved Origins. I don't know. Some people didn't like it, and I don't really know why, because of me personally, I thought it was just as good as Arkham Knight or Arkham City. Just that actually, I thought the graphics were even better. I thought it had the best of the 360 games graphics. My favorite of that whole franchise is Arkham Knight. I'm going to go with Kris on this one because it's larger, it's bigger, the graphics are better. It finally has the Batmobile. The combat is smoother. Like, the game improved every aspect of the other Arkham Knight games, in my personal opinion. And I love the way Batman looked in the latest game in Arkham Knight, how he had that little bit of, he had a little bit of that, the Arkham City style look, but he also looked a little bit more like almost like the Christian Bale style movie Batman. You know what I mean? So I really loved all that. The Batmobile stuff was fantastic, except it was overdone. They went from going like, hey, we didn't have the Batmobile at all, till now you're going to be in this fucking thing all the time. And some parts of the game were great, but then it was just like they force it down your throat. And I really didn't like the confined space missions where you're underneath doing the Riddler fucking tubes. I found they were weird to navigate and shit like that. So, but yeah, I thought it was pretty fucking cool. Philly Eagle says he didn't play Origin. He wasn't convinced it was different enough. No, I think it was quite different. I think different enemies. Combat system was a little bit different. I loved, like I said, the graphics. I think the only difference was, didn't Arkham Origins change the voice actor? I think I don't think Kevin Conroy did Batman in that one. Am I correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody else did it. And I also think I can't. Was Joker in that?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I don't think Mark Hamill did the voice for Joker either.
Yeah, I don't think he played a large role. That's the only one of those games I didn't beat, but I still like the game. I'm fairly far in it. I got to go back and finish it up. It's just one of those games that, by the time it came out, I was kind of moving into like the newer consoles and just got sidetracked with Arkham Knight and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but good stuff, guys. If you never played the Batman games before, it'd be a great chance to pick it up. That's all I can say. You're definitely going to get a hell of a bargain, and you're going to get, 3 of the best games to come out in the last fucking decade. So if you love Batman and you love good action games, it is a must. AC Origins. Okay, I thought you were talking about Batman Origins. Heath did enough voice to make it happen. Not sure what he's talking about there. Really, Ron Hale says he really love a new Bioshock. What's going on, Ron? How you doing, man? All right, so let's move on and let's get into our next topic of the evening, shall we? Hope everybody's doing good in the chat. I'll be having a fantastic night. Let me tell you guys, thanks for all the well wishes. Last week I had some kidney stones and knocked me down for a couple of days. It was brutal. If anybody's ever had kidney stones, you know what I'm talking about. Even the littlest ones are fucking a pain, quite literally. All right, where are we at topics wise? Let's get into a funny topic now. Let's get out of the games again and let's get into this one that's been causing a real stir, a bit of a trend around the internet. Can't wait to get Kris's take on this, and obviously Primal Eve as well. With this one particular girl caught on camera licking a tub of ice cream caused a massive national stir, about ethics and like how far people are willing to go to get a click these days. Then we got fucking cosplayers selling bathtub fucking water for like $30 a jar, and it's selling out. People spitting in food, blah blah blah. Is this shit for shock? Is it just trying to get popular? Are they really that fucked up? I don't know what the deal is. And then I want to know what some of the crazy shit you guys may have ever seen or heard. Maybe something that we've totally forgotten about. You know what I mean? Let's go with the guests again first, Mr. Kris Steel, brother. What the fuck do you make of this world we're in right now and the people in it? What do you got to say, man? What's up with that?
I might be wrong, but I think there was always that talk that Instagram was going to do away with likes and stuff like that. You know what? There was a time where I disagreed, but you know what? After what we've been witnessing over the last week and a half of dummies licking ice cream and drinking mouthwash and shit like that, you know what? Take away the likes, take away the retweet numbers. They all need to go away. People need to stop trying to get famous by doing stupid shit. Unless you're superhuman. That's it.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, I love what Kris just said there. I totally agree. I think when it's something that is done for the sake of shock value, and it's obviously repulsive and gross and against ethics, then I totally agree. I think that shit should be just axed immediately. There should be some sort of policing where it just gets fucking taken down and the people will suffer the consequences. Of course, the thing is pretty gross. I think 98% of the people out there would not do shit like this. Some chick pissed in an ice cream churn. What the fuck? Oh my God.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Bathwater for $30 sold out. And how pruned are your feet? Easy Money says I sell clean pee though. Primal, like yourself. What do you think about this shit? I mean, last year was fucking Tide Pods. Now it's ice cream. What's next after the fucking ice cream phenomenon?
Oh my God, it's so fucking outrageous.
Hopefully they start shooting themselves in the dick.
Right? If I had known I can sell some of my shit, I would be like collecting all my moistness and like putting it in a spray bottle or something. You
Hey,
smell like me all day.
Primal, sell some tit sweat. Tit sweat might sell. Can you get a jug of tit sweat? Primal Eve's tit sweat, guys, going for $15 a jug.
There's plenty, trust me. No, it's just it's gotten to the point where people are running out of things to get attention. So they have to go above and beyond. It drives me absolutely fucking nuts. Like, it's to the point where it's like, ew, like, you're disgusting. Like, that's not even human anymore. Like, I remember back in the day, it was like really cool to be like doing shit from Jackass. Like, my dumbass was doing shit from Jackass, even though it's blah blah blah. Do not do that.
Oh man, I did a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah, no, but that shit was just that shit was actual dumb shit. this shit is fucking disgusting. Okay, maybe stapling your balls and stuff to things is a little gross, but no, like nowadays it's just like fucking. It is. Astray, you said it yourself right there. Humans are regressing faster than than we were progressing. Like it's absolutely true. I don't understand why everybody's so fucking stupid, and I feel bad because this is what my kid has to watch. Like this is what she thinks is normal, and it's not normal. This isn't
Yeah.
what people do every day. It's absolutely fucking disgusting.
Well, yeah, the other day I watched a video of a guy fucking putting gas on himself, lights himself on fire, and then runs into the fucking lake. Like, I don't know.
See,
Like,
that's just funny. That's just a guy having fun, making his buddies laugh, and he has a lake right there. That's not hurting anybody else but himself. That's
Exactly.
that's
Yeah,
good
true.
nature.
That's something else. When it involves other people and doing harm to other people, either like, orally, physically, whateverly,
Right.
then it's going way too far. When you're just being an idiot on your own, then be an idiot on your own.
Well, I saw
Why?
pictures. The thing is, right, we saw how the world changed after 9/11. Obviously, it's totally different, but still semi-related in how, for every action there's a reaction. And then right after this girl licks this ice cream thing, now I'm seeing pictures on the internet of fucking supermarkets with fucking padlocks on the freezers. Like, if
Yeah,
I got to go into a fucking supermarket and I got to get somebody from the front to come and get me a tub of
security,
fucking Tom and Jerry's ice cream or
right?
whatever the fuck, right?
'Cause
Like, no,
those
we are going too far, my friend. You know what I mean? Like that, like, what the fuck is next? Gonna lock up toilet paper rolls? Like, I don't know what the
Oh
hell.
my god, and you know what? And it's crazy because then even people are getting their likes and their retweets and whatever from that too. Because now they're making videos of them safely putting their ice cream in a cart,
Yeah.
and that's something that person is famous for now. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
I
I
just
don't.
got 100,000 clicks for putting a jug of ice cream in my cart safely and securely. Like, yeah, and then it goes the other way. Just so stupid. Like, oh my lord.
People find something out of something. It doesn't matter what it is, and everything is caught on camera. Everybody has their fucking phones out. Everything's getting recorded. You cannot do
Mm,
one damn thing in your life without somebody else knowing about it. It's and people want that.
yeah.
It's fucking outrageous. It's probably why, like, I like being in my home, in my own little world, away from everybody. It's just fucking outrageous.
I'm not buying ice cream with broken seals. Motherfucker, seals, they belong in the ocean, dude.
Oh, seriously, every time I get ice cream now, I'm going to be examining the fuck out of that ice cream, making sure there's no
Yeah.
tongue.
You'd be like, this ice cream is plain. Why is there a nut in it?
If you have a fucking a nut
Like,
sack in your ice cream.
you're fucking inspecting. Maybe there's a pube in this one or something, right? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Any more thoughts on this, Kris, my man?
I mean, I did my fair share of stupid shit, but it was always like this stupid shit done unto myself, not to
Right.
other people's, potential food or, nobody else got hurt in my shenanigans. So people really need to stop trying to get likes. I think that shit probably should go away for a little bit. You're getting your toys taken away until you be good. What your parents used to do, Can't have anything nice.
Yes, indeed. Oh, man. So the lid of ice cream opens easy the first time, then it's been tampered with. Hey, Freddie knows what's up. Fuck, some of them ice cream tubs, man, you need a crowbar to get them off. They're like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's sad. I've seen people spitting in the food. And spitting in the food is nothing necessarily new, but I've just noticed since there's been a lot of videos online showing like one guy was like a big loogie into this fucking pizza sauce and stuff. And like I said, it's what if again if you got hepatitis or you've got HIV or you got a lot of things like that. That's the other side. It's one thing. It's as bad as it is, but if you got something, then it becomes another story altogether, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Hyper Light Drifter, what's happening, man? What's happening? Who else do we miss in the chat tonight? Here we got Philly Eagle, Freddie Fox is here. Got a good crew up in here in a Distractible Life, Easy Money. Spider-Man's still hanging out with us. Crispy Bomb is still blowing up in the chat. What's going on, Crispy? And he gives only nothing to Tylenol. Vaguely, but someone did mention that earlier this week about Tylenol. I heard a story about a guy. I don't know if it was a guy or a woman who. I think it was a guy. I guess he
Oh
tried to kill his wife or something. So
no,
he went into his
vice versa.
wife,
And it was the wife trying to kill the husband. Yep.
right? And she laced the fucking. I guess the drugs in the apartment with some sort of fucking shit, wasn't it? And then a bunch of people died.
Yeah, because she had to contaminate multiple bottles so that it seemed like it was something that was actually wrong with the batch, but
Right.
it was her just trying to kill her husband. It's always the wife.
Because men, we're all fucking evil.
And then there was the whole pixie stick thing too, where where the father killed his son because he put shit in the pixie stick.
No. Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah, man. It's a shitty topic, but hey, I just wanted to touch on it because again, this podcast is not all about straight up gaming. We talk about a bunch of shit here. But hopefully people smarten the fuck up eventually. But I'm pretty sure that humanity will prove us again that as crazy as this is, there will be another person who comes and steps it up again. And like I said, the best thing you can hope for is that they get caught and that they get like punished and punished well because they need to set an example so other people won't think twice. Because if it's going to be a day in jail and then out, fuck it, that ain't going to do shit. People need to fucking get serious stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of weird because this fucking girl will probably get more time in fucking jail for licking an ice cream container than fucking than some of the murderers and rapists and shit
I
out there,
know,
which
it's
fucking
not
blows my
horrible.
mind. I'm like, okay, she licks ice cream and she gets all these years, and there's fucking assholes out there shooting people and getting fucking like a year in jail at best. You know, like the fucking society is screwed up. I'm telling you.
Anything for fame.
Absolutely. Geez, I think we've almost run through all of our topics tonight. That is fucking crazy. No, actually we haven't. We're gonna get back to gaming. We're gonna talk about the top selling third-party games on our consoles. It was an interesting article on IGN. I had to read it. I don't go to IGN very often, but I was just skimming through and I thought this was interesting because this kind of confirms what we all know that when it comes to buying games, well, we buy the same shit over and over and over and over again. So let's get into it. I'm going to read off this list, guys, of these games here, and then you can weigh in on it with me. I'll get my panel's reaction here in a second. So here we go. The top 10 third-party games across all Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms. Now, here's the top 10 across the major platforms. Starting with number 10, Call of Duty World War II. Number 9, Call of Duty Ghosts. Number 8, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Rock Band, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Call of Duty Black Ops. Grand Theft Auto 5. Did anybody notice a trend about that top fucking 10?
Oh man.
Yeah, I really would like another Rock Band or a Guitar Hero.
Oh my god, I fucking loved Guitar Hero. That was my shit.
Amen.
Fucking 24/7 on expert. Let's do it. Like that was my thing all day.
Yeah, it's amazing how that game. But it's amazing with that one, the parallel comparison, right, to Call of Duty and Rock Band and Guitar Hero, because Rock Band and Guitar Hero were huge during that section of time when they came out. Remember, like what 2 or 3 years ago, they tried to reboot it by bringing it back out, and it just didn't take off. It kind of had a modest like hit, and then it just was like 6 months later, shit's in the bargain bins, right?
Oh my god.
You know,
fucking yeah, no, new like back in the day when I used to work at a video game store where you could buy and sell used games, when they had
where's that?
when these bundles came out and it was fucking like Black Friday or even the release, people were beating each other up for these bundles. It was fucking insane. It was the Rock Band bundles, the Guitar Hero bundles, and the Wii Fits. Those 3 things were fucking insane for years, and all of a sudden, gone.
I loved how the Rock Band bundle even came out with the Beatles one, and it actually had like the instruments that you could buy that looked like
the Beatles one.
like the Beatles. That was pretty fucking cool.
I loved 3. I like 2, 3, and Metallica. Like those were my ones that my go-tos, but they're gone. It's the same thing with like DDR back in the day when Dance Dance Revolution was also a huge, massive thing. People would be fucking all over the place trying to get their DDRs on. And that's gone too. It's just like, I don't know. I think it's because at that time we didn't have a lot of options. That's why Call of Duty was Call of Duty, and everybody was all about it because that was
Jeepers,
your first person shooter game. You know, like that was it. what else did you have? Halo.
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, there really wasn't anything else. There was the battlefields, the early battlefields that were out, and so
Right.
that was your other option, but nothing compared to Call of Duty back in the day.
Well, it's crazy though, like you said, because Rock Band and Guitar Hero were super huge at one point in time. Like everybody played them, everybody had them. I remember having house parties where you'd play, and then but Call of Duty is still going strong. But the other ones have just kind of completely almost fallen completely off the radar. We might not even see any more of those games now. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't know. Can you imagine a world without Call of Duty though?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Kris, you want to weigh in on that crazy lineup of games there? That Call of Duty. You even a Call of Duty guy, man, at all, or did you ever like any of them?
I loved Call of Duty for a point, and then after Advanced Warfare, I swore the game off. I would play Call of Duty and get angry and get high blood pressure and be mad at things and dream about playing it. And that's when I knew, all right, I got to stop playing Call of Duty. So I've not played Call of Duty in quite some time, but this new Call of Duty that's coming out, they might have me back.
Yes, I agree. The new one looks good. It's built on a new engine. The graphics are looking awesome, and it's back to modern day settings and weapons we can identify with, not shit that doesn't exist, never existed, or if it does, it'll be way down the road.
Right, but that list is very telling. We are a creature of habit. Humans are, and we love our bang bang and shoot 'em ups, and and I am surprised Madden didn't make that top 10 though.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's a top 10 of third-party games, sort of as a accumulation of all of them. Now we get into the specific, and this is interesting because now let's go into break it down per platform. And here's the top 10 for the Nintendo platforms: Rock Band 2, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, Just Dance 4, Rock Band, Lego Star Wars Complete Saga, Mario and Sonic Olympic Games, Just Dance 3, Just Dance 2, Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock, Guitar Hero World Tour. Notice another. Well, obviously, Nintendo doesn't really have any Call of Duty games. So, but you notice, the correlation in their list. Kind of weird. A lot of dance games, and there's a yo.
Yep.
Yeah. No, just
We're just taking a moment to process that one.
No, everything went dead on my end, so I thought I lost everybody.
So, it's interesting to see how a list, because wait till I get to the PlayStation and Xbox list and how they read quite differently than this one, right? So that just shows you that Nintendo itself, while they've had successful games, like Nintendo's third-party support is definitely different and not as varied as a third-party support per se as the other ones, or the audience is totally different, right? Because, like I said, Just Dance and Mario games in there.
Yeah, it's family
Sonic.
PG oriented. Let's be happy. Let's be positive. Let's have a good day. Type games is what Nintendo is.
I just want to see, and I'll read off for these because it's interesting with the Nintendo one. These are the games that I own. I had not for Nintendo, but I did have Rock Band 2. Never had Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Games. Never had Just Dance 4. Never had Rock Band. Lego Star Wars. I had it, but on Xbox. Mario and Sonic Olympic Games. Never had that. So I've never had any of these games. I have Guitar Hero World Tour. I did own that one. And Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock. I own that as well. And all those games I owned on Xbox, never on Nintendo. So I had none of those top 10. Did anybody have any of those for the Nintendo system or just for another console?
For another console mostly. But,
likewise.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much another console. So we did have them. A lot of us had them, right? Lunker, what's happened, Lunker? Thanks for stopping by, checking out the stream, brother. Xbox Hyperlight says Xbox is no exclusive. Nintendo no third parties. PlayStation has both. Well, I'm not even going to argue with you, bro, if you think Xbox has no exclusives. But they have console exclusives, games you cannot get on PlayStation, which to some extent makes them exclusive. But again, I'm not here to argue. Let's move on down the line here. Here's the top 10 third-party games across all Xbox platforms. And then we'll get into the PlayStation. Let's do the PlayStation one first. Here's your top 10 from the PlayStation through all. It says all PlayStation, which I assume is like PS2, PS3, PS4. Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Call of Duty Black Ops it says Black Ops 3. I think 4. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty World War 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Black Ops, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock on GTA 5. So a little bit of diversity there in the lineup. You got a couple of GTAs filling in there as well as Rockstar. So the whole thing is owned by Activision and Rockstar. Own the whole fucking third-party narrative. The whole thing. Crazy.
Multiplayer. Xbox is multiplayer, so it's no surprise for me to see all that whatsoever. Well, multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. Antonio Lacia, what's happening, brother? Yeah, what the fuck, COD? Yeah, they own everything, right? What the fuck is going on?
All that list really shows is Activision made a shit ton of money.
Damn. Yeah, and then when you hear them making the layoffs and fucking restructuring, are you fucking kidding me? Of any company out there that shouldn't have the layoff of soul would be Activision. You guys are making hand over fist money, and you're overcharging for your content all the time too, not to mention everything else. These Call of Duty games don't need to be fucking charging for individual DLC. Everything should come in the fucking packs, man. These guys are making hand over fist. Absolutely. Player base is there. They're going to buy shit anyway. Now let's get down to Xbox and see how things, see if things vary at all.
That was for PlayStation?
That was the PlayStation. Here's the Xbox list.
PlayStation doesn't have a multiplayer, so why would they? All right, carry on.
Call of Duty World War II, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Call of Duty Ghosts, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Black Ops, and GTA 5. So there you go. There's no Red Dead Redemption in the Xbox top 10 third party. Wow. And you'll notice that a lot of the older Call of Duties did much better. You'll notice Black Ops 4 is not in the Xbox list where it is on the PlayStation one. So that's quite interesting. So once again, Call of Duty owns 9 of 10 with Rockstar and the GTA 5. Unfucking believable.
Well, I'm going to say the same thing that I meant to say I didn't realize that was for PlayStation. That's kind of odd for COD. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, because PlayStation doesn't have a multiplayer base. I don't care. I'll fight whoever disagrees with me. I don't give a shit. I've played and I've tried so many multiplayer on PlayStation, and it is.
But remember what helped PlayStation for a very long time, especially during the PS3 era, was the fact that their online was free. And that went the long ways for the play, especially for PS3, not so much for PS4 because their online's getting progressively and significantly better. But during the PS3, a lot of the friends that I had who had PlayStation, the biggest reason that they had it was because they could play games like Call of Duty for free.
Exactly, but it's the quality too. I would still pay for better quality. That's why I'm always going to have Xbox be my multiplayer platform. And PlayStation will always be my single player platform. I tried. I remember when Killzone came out, I was really excited, and I went to go and play the multiplayer. And these guys,
the Halo killer.
Yeah, it was a big deal. And these guys have their guns pointed up in the air, spinning around in circles. They're all like enamored by the view, and I'm fucking murdering every single one of them. That's not fun. I want somebody to kill me, fucking shoot me. You know, like that's why I like as much as I do not like a lot of the people that play multiplayer games on the Xbox, it's still a much better experience. Like, I like being challenged. I like having a variety. Like, I like getting pissed off. I don't want something handed to me and be easy. Like, if you took all if you took all the COD players off the PlayStation and had them fight all of the COD players from the Xbox, like that would be disastrous.
Well, I'm hearing now that the new Call of Duty, if I'm correct, is supposed to have crossplay, and hopefully that's true. I think that'll be huge. I think it'd be the first Call of Duty game to have that.
Right, and don't even bring in PC players. They're a whole different race. Like, you know, I'm not even going to talk about them. They're just different completely.
All right. So I think I know the answer to my next question here. Primal, Kris, let's weigh in and let's go with the chat. If you could play multiplayer on one console, if you could only choose one, which one would it be? Which would be your multiplayer console of choice?
Give the bone, Noof. Give it to me.
The bone, X-Bone?
Bone. Yes.
Gotta hate it when people use that.
Oh, it's so horrible. It drove me fucking
X-Bone. Jesus. Kris, I think I know. I might know the answer. I don't know. Which one, man?
Atari Lynx. I guess for right now, Xbox.
Freddie Fox says Xbox, Lakers, Rams, PlayStation grew up with it. Dreadpool Xbox, Axel Xbox, Draven Arrow Xbox, Philly Eagle Xbox,
All right,
Indie Gamer
I need to
laughs.
say something. I grew up with PlayStation as well. That was my first main console, and I dedicated a lot of years, a lot of my life to the PlayStation. But when it comes to multiplayer, Xbox will always have the upper hand for me. I have played almost every single PlayStation title there could possibly be before the PlayStation 3, you know. And I'm not like a Sony. I'm not like I'm not a pony. I'm not an Xbox. I'm just a gamer. But there is a massive difference. Xbox has the multiplayer base.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, it seems like lots of people coming out to this chat definitely going with the Xbox. Ron Hale says Xbox forever. Hyperlight Drifter says Xbox Live kind of sucked this gen. Last gen was more stable. He does have a little bit of a point, and I'll say that Xbox Live has progressed in a lot of ways, but I've noticed, and especially since they went with the 16-person party system, that I've noticed a lot more disconnects and stuff, like more than I did on ever notice like 360 when you try to invite someone to a game. Most often it seemed like it fucking worked. How many times do I get into a game now, going to invite somebody, and you'll notice that 3 people get in, and there's always that one person that can't connect to your fucking game. It's like, and they have to quit, and they have the host or restart the system.
Xbox, yeah.
Like, what is up with that? Why is it always that 1 or 2 people that fucking can't seem to get in? It's like, no, this person cannot join game. I didn't notice that as much with Xbox 360 and stuff as I do now, especially since we went to that 16-player party bullshit. I've noticed the voice seems to be not quite as good, and I don't get a lot of parties
Oh
of
my gosh,
16
but
people, but
have you been in game chat and spoke? Oh my gosh, it's horrible. Everybody's on toilets or inside their dryers. It sounds so horrible. I don't
gotta
know
stop
how
buying those cheap Turtle Beach fucking headsets. Is what it is.
we don't
Get yourself one like Noof Nukem here, people.
But you know what? In a way, I would still rather deal with that than having to wait 20 minutes to join a fucking PlayStation party and then try and figure out how to join each other. I it's just easier. I don't know.
Now, Chris, you the problem with 16 people parties that I've noticed is you get 5 people playing one game and the rest of the people are in your party, but they're talking nonsense and you can't hear fucking shit. So maybe that's half of the problem too. It's like, it's like throwing like 4 cats into a dog compound. You know what I mean? You know, that's kind of what you get, right?
Yeah, sometimes I have a hard time gaming when in a big, large group party chat because there's so many different conversations going on, and on top of trying to game, it's like, man, I can't keep track of all this nonsense.
Yeah, no doubt. Xbox Live, I think is still at least at this point, is still my preferred place to play. But I will give full props to Sony. Their online has come a long way from the PlayStation 3. Trust me. Go back and play PS3. First of all, on PS3, they didn't really have a dedicated mic system. A lot of times you had to go and buy like one of those fucking Bluetooth headsets or whatever, and half the time they didn't connect, or they sounded like you said, like you were 5 miles away sitting on a fucking toilet. Like it was just so bad, right? But a lot better now. But okay, you're paying for it now. It should be fucking better, right?
I agree.
When you're fucking paying for something and that's your prime focus, it should be a lot fucking better. Whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, and now Nintendo, who still uses a fucking cell phone app to talk to your friends, which I don't get Nintendo, man. That's another story for some kook box because fuck. Nintendo are the weirdest motherfuckers ever. I don't know how the hell they're so successful. They do everything backwards and they still fucking sell like hotcakes. I don't know. I'm telling you, man, Nintendo's the only company in this world that can sell shit to a dung beetle, and it would be the best thing ever. I'm telling you.
Unless it's called the Wii U.
The Wii U. Yeah, somewhere along the line. Well, that's because they confuse people because they call it Wii U and nobody fucking knew it was a new console. They're like, it's an extension of the old one. I got a Wii already. What do we need that one for?
Right.
Dreadpool, what's happening, brother? Thanks for stopping by, man, and checking out the show. Lakers, Rams, what's going on, man? Who else is here? Iceman, LMH is in here. What's going on, my brother? How you doing? PS Vita was the first PlayStation console handheld that party chat. Probably was. I wouldn't doubt it. Can't remember, but yeah. Just tell the trolls to Bing subjective and preference. They'll get mad. I'll take your word for it, Philly. I'll take your word for it. Yeah. So that was the list of games. Obviously, Activision and Rockstar are rolling, and every other company wants to be. I can't believe there's no Ubisoft games in there. I don't even think there was any EA. I think did Rock Band, but that was mostly for the Nintendo. Outside of that, everything was fucking Activision and Sega had a couple of games at Mario and Sonic out of the Nintendo ones. But Jesus, what a list! It's all Call of Duty or
GTA 5
Jesus.
will never die. Like, I'm pretty
No.
sure there's gonna be people playing that in fucking consoles to come. People
I'm pretty sure people's grandmother bought fucking copies of that game when you hear about the numbers they sold. It's just ridiculous.
Let's not forget it eventually will be on the iPhone. Someday yes. It will be.
Someday it probably will be. Yeah, they'll get it there. I believe you, Chris. I believe you. All right.
Hell, almost all of them already are, right?
Absolutely. Well, I think we've gotten through all the fucking the topics for tonight. So that means we're going to get down and we're going to close out this podcast with the question of the evening. But I'll give the floor up to Mr. Kris Steel. Chris, if there's anything you'd like to add, or there's any topics we didn't bring up or something you'd like to toss out there before we kind of get into our final segment of the night, go right ahead.
You care if I plug my show?
Yeah, man, go right ahead. Plug the shit out of it.
Yeah, if you guys want to check out my podcast, it's called Double Penetration Podcast with Kris Steel. My friend, the Creep Queen, she's very creepy and weird, but she's a fun gal to have a show with, and you can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever. Just type in Double Penetration Podcast. Can't miss us. We're a hit. Yes, everybody's grandmother loves us.
Yes, Creep is super cute, and she's got a killer bod, let me tell you. You'll find that out if you check out her Twitter page and you follow some of the work that she does as well.
Yeah, I did like a quick little research when you mentioned her earlier, and I was like, oh okay. It's very
maybe she's practicing that what do you call it? Frugal?
Kegels.
The Keebler elf?
Boy, they used to make some good cookies, man.
Oh, fuck, did they ever? Keebler is great shit.
Fudge fucking, and then they had like the fudge ripple thing. Oh my god, I'm so fucking hungry. I haven't eaten since like Friday. I am so hungry. All right. Sorry.
That's Crispy saying about no raunchy topic. Crispy, what fucking podcast you in, bro? You know there's going to be a raunchy topic, I'm sure. Let's get into Primal. Go hit us with your question of the evening, and we'll weigh in on this. Hopefully the chat will join us for some fun as well. Don't be shy. We know that the hosts and our guests are not. Go right ahead, Primal.
Okay, this is actually a pretty simple, easy one, something that shouldn't take everybody like a long time to think about. But what is like your most embarrassing moment? What was a moment that you were just like, oh fuck, like I fucked up, or anything like that? Just something that made you blush.
Damn.
Shit. See,
well, let's let Mr. Kris Steel take the floor. I'm sure he's got a good story.
Boy, oh boy, you're putting me on the spot.
Absolutely. I know you didn't see this one coming.
Embarrassing
kind of like
moment.
a blind guy in a porn show.
Well, he may actually have a good time because you don't know what's going on. What you don't know can't hurt.
That's right. Unless it's bukkake in your ears.
I'm gonna have to take a quick pass, and I might have to swing back around on the second lap for my.
Primal, your question, answer. You hit it.
I know, but every single time I never think of my own answer. I'm trying to think of like, I don't know what it's. I think it's hard for me to be embarrassed. I've had some horrible vomiting moments. I don't like to vomit in front of people, and for some reason, people think it's funny when I vomit. I don't know why. Maybe it's cute, or you're fucking weird. Like I had exes that would like wait outside of the bathroom door just so they could hear me vomit. But no, I don't know. I always vomit at the wrong times. I vomit when I laugh too hard, so I can't have like a lot in me. I had like a Cracker Jack incident when my dad. I don't know what he said or did, but he made me laugh so hard that I had to puke Cracker Jack, and it landed on the side of his truck. I felt so horrible. I puked in front of Stop and Shop, and I had pasta. And that's really the worst thing you can puke is pasta, because for some reason I do not actually have a gag reflex. Hang on. I just saw that. I went to the doctor. I know I'm mixing stories, but I went to the doctor, and it was so interesting because he put in like the tongue depressor, and he accidentally went like way too far in, and he's like, oh, you don't have a gag reflex. And back in the day, If you guys know, like the state fairs where they have those giant rocket popsicles that are like fucking a foot long, I can take it all the way in plus the stick, and that was like my party trick at the age of 12.
Wow.
But no, but
In the chat we got Iceman farting while having sex. That can be embarrassing at times, indeed, especially if it's somebody new and you're trying to make a good impression. Crispy bomb putting it in the butt without permission.
actually, Dreadful, was I on that show with you? For some reason, I remember being on there. Like the first show for anybody, I think, is really embarrassing. I think my
Yeah,
first on Dosage and on the Saltiest Gaming Podcast. Uh, the Christmas special on Booms when he had like 200 plus viewers, I
yeah.
had started like stuttering and I was like sweating. And I'm like, oh my god, don't fuck up.
BZ BZ McNasty is in the house, man. With BZ McNasty shouldn't be afraid of what he's gonna find when he jumps into gaming after dark. What's up, BZ? How you doing, man? Iceman, goddamn. Go ahead, Prom. I didn't mean to cut you out. Keep going.
Oh, I'm just rambling because you guys don't have answers.
I have an answer.
Okay, there you go.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's like my most embarrassing thing that's happened to me, but there's me and my pal went to this I don't necessarily want to run down this restaurant because it's nothing that they done
Right.
wrong because they have killer food, but they have meat. Fuck it, it's Mongolian barbecue, right? So they have meat. They cook meat on this big, huge circular barbecue with swords, and they chop it all up, right? And it's all you can eat. So me and my pal, we had just power loaded just plate after plate of Mongolian deliciousness, pounded some beers, and as we were walking out, there's these big tall windows that are about 20 feet tall and that go down into the ground, and where people are sitting eating from inside the restaurant looking out. And I just unloaded and just had a reversal of fortune, and I happen to look down and there's just a family staring at me, just disgusted and mortified, like, can't this disgusting piece of shit not make it somewhere else instead of in front of the window? It's a good time.
No doubt you got some good looks out of that one.
They weren't pleased.
How do you like?
I guess at least you couldn't smell it.
Yeah, it was good food. I think I just ate too much, and it was just that and the beer, and shit happens.
Well, wait, how do you like your meat? Medium, rare, super rare?
It just depends on what it is. Like steak, medium rare.
Yeah.
Chicken all the way cooked.
Oh my god. Please stop. Like I forever.
Chicken that's not all the way cooked is fucking gross. It's like rubber.
Like, that's what did me, and I can already feel it in my chest right now. Bathroom, like just thinking
when
about
the chicken's got that bloody look to it on the inside, and the meat's like fucking runny,
good.
like ugh.
I like a real runny, like fucking great.
How do you like your meat, Ice Man? How do you like your meat? Down your throat, bitch. Man, I'll make mine short and sweet. Okay. First incident was back when I had surgery coming out of college. And not that surgeries are pretty. Anybody knows you've been in a hospital and had any major surgery, pretty much, what do you call it? Your humility goes out the fucking window because pretty much everybody's poked, prodded you, seen you, all of those sorts of things, right? But so I'm having this surgery for my gallbladder surgery, and I had this really fucking hot, like she was a really hot, I guess it was a nurse or doc, I can't remember which one, but she was really fucking smoking hot. And let me tell you, what a worse time to get fucking a bad case of pool dick. And all you guys know what I'm talking about, a swimming pool dick. You know what I'm talking about? What a bad time to have a little turtle, with a sexy nurse walking in, and you're just like, that's one of those times you want to just like, your pants come down, you want the fucking beef to be prime. Well, that little motherfucker, he was hiding away, and I'm like, God damn, swimming pool dick, and she gonna be laughing. So that was kind of embarrassing, right? If she would have been ugly and shit, I wouldn't give a shit, but she was kind of cute, and I was like, God damn, the fucking shriveled, man, fucking Ninja Turtle hiding away on that one. Went to go for it in Ninja Turtle and fucking got Master Splinter.
Oh man.
The second one, second scenario. What was I going to say? I had a good one here. It was a second embarrassing thing. Fuck, I forgot it. I lost it. It'll come back to me, I'm sure.
You reminded me of a dick story that was embarrassing because I had just broken up with my ex, so I had like a rebound guy, and my hand was so used to a certain size, like which I thought was average. But when I went to go grab the new guy, like my hand just kept getting smaller and tighter until I could be able to. And I was so embarrassed because I think he was waiting for it, and I was like, I can't find it. Hang on, let me do a super fist. That was pretty embarrassing. I felt bad.
Oh yeah, the other story I had was not long before it came out to Alberta. I was with this older lady, and it was first time having intercourse with her, and there's nothing she did, but I don't know why it hit me. Like after we finished, like immediately, I got up and I fucking threw up all over the floor.
Jesus.
And I'm sure that couldn't have been very good for her. Like thinking, what the fuck, right? You know, but yeah, I got up like immediately and fucking threw up. It was like talk about the worst timing
Oh
ever.
my
She's gonna
God.
think that I'm such an asshole that I fucking threw up after doing
That's
the deed.
horrible.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
pretty bad.
that's
I
why
felt really bad about it. I don't know what made me sick. Maybe it was something to eat, or it was too warm, or something. That fucking tunis is being nasty. Brother,
that's horrible.
that was one night I wasn't south of the border, but it wasn't a good look. I'll do with Timothy Dixon, but yeah, no, it wasn't south of the border that night. There was no fish sticks with the hamburger in that night.
That's such a fear. Like I don't think I will ever suck cock after I drink because I feel like I'm gonna puke all over it. It just makes me like that's like a fear.
Wow, it's really moist in here.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Chunky.
Uh, oh, fucking gross. Well, I told you guys it was going to be a gnarly show here tonight, let me tell you. So that brings us to the end of the episode. The chat's been fucking awesome. I don't know who the four lame asses were who put the thumbs down, but I don't know what kind of show you guys want. I don't know what kind of show you want. You're giving us a thumbs down here. You need a thumb up your bum, man. You're giving us a thumbs down. Keeping it 100. Right on, Freddie Fox. Right on. Again, shout out to everybody that's been here. Anybody in the chat didn't get a shout out, let me know before we go. I'll be glad to give you the shout out here because we appreciate you. But would you lick it off after that, says Jay Slayer?
Fucking bleh, come on.
Oh. Certain things certain things, that's the thing, right? Depends on what you eat, because certain things can come up and you don't hardly notice, and then you'll have some other things come up and they're sour and bad, and you're just like, oh, you know what I mean?
God, yeah.
Yeah, and when I throw up too, I throw up fucking hard. I'm one of those people that like my eyes bug out of my head. I look like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger when he hit the fucking dirt in Total Recall. You know that part?
Hell yeah.
I've been puking every single day, and I finally was just like, I went to Eris, my kid, and I was like, do I look like shit? And she's just like the fear in her eyes. I knew she wanted to say yes, but I don't think she wanted to hurt my feelings. I'm like, do I look like shit? And she's like, yes, mom. Yes, you do.
Hey, Iceman, I hope you're eating a nice bowl of chunky soup right now.
Ew.
The chowdery kind.
Yeah.
Oh, I do love me some clam chowder, like New England, though.
Mm.
Oh my God. I'm so hungry. I'm about to eat whatever somebody hands me. I am.
Everybody's running to the cupboard now looking for clam chowder. Oh, perfect. Yeah, it's good shower time. Anyway, let's get over to our guests and let everybody get out of here and have a fantastic night. Mr. Kris Steel, again, I can't thank you enough, sir, for being on this podcast. I knew you'd be awesome, bro. Glad you could be here. Once again, plug what you got going on, or plug some bad JJs, whatever makes you happy, man. But let people know where they can track you down, how they can follow you, and catch more of Mr. Steel.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Kris Steel. That's MrKrisSteel. Same thing for the Instagram. And now I'm going to get a really little bit nerdy here real quick. I don't know how many people are into Gundams and Gunpla and stuff like that, but it's a new thing that I found, and it's an art that I enjoy doing. It's building Gundam models, and you can follow my Gundam Instagram at Steel_Gunpla, Gunpla. And Double Penetration Podcast, wherever you get your fine podcast or other various programs.
There you have it. And let's head over to my amazing co-host who always delivers. Yes, she is. Well, she's kind of like FedEx, you know what I mean? But she might be fed up with her ex. But yeah, she
Oh, man.
always delivers. It is amazing, the charismatic, the sexy Primal Eve. Primal, let people know where they can track you down, love.
Well, first of all, this isn't so sexy, but I'm so proud of myself for not fucking shitting or puking on myself. So
Hooray.
give myself a pat on the back. I apologize for saying the COCK word quite a bit tonight. I don't care, but I know it offends some people. It's a bit much.
I filled it.
But yeah, if you guys want, you can follow me on Twitter. I haven't really been as active lately because for some reason Twitter has been fucking shit fast. Everybody's arguing over everything, and I'm just so lost and confused that I'm just like, okay, no more social media. But yeah, if you want, you can follow me there. I'm also on Xbox and PlayStation, also Primal Eve.
Well, Primal Eve, guys, you know her. She knows that her podcast won't rock unless she's deep with some cock. So there you go.
Holy smokes.
All right. I know she doesn't carry any fetuses in a jar. Keep it in your pants. Yeah. No dad. No UK dads and yeah. Chris, if you want to see the podcast go off the rails, you got to get UK Dazzarus in here. Holy hell. Shit gets lit then, let me tell you. But not a chat. Alan Savage, what's going on, Alan Savage? Thanks for popping in, man. Yes, give us that thumbs up, share it out, tell all your friends. If they're young and feeble-minded, tell them to stay clear because, yeah, we're a little raunchy. But yeah, it's a great show, guys. You know where to find me. Mr. Boom Boom Kaboom is leaving the room. You'll find me on this podcast, and when I'm not here, you'll find me over with Saltiest Gaming on the Saltiest Gaming podcast Thursday night. Speaking of our brother, Saltiest Gaming, congratulations, Salty, my man. Salty and his wife just had a baby boy, I do believe it was earlier today. So born on the 9th of July. Congratulations, Salty brother. We hope that you guys are having a great day, a special moment for sure. I know a lack of sleep coming, so I don't know how much gaming or podcasts we'll see from him, but yeah.
Like every 6 months, he's popping out kids. I know it's not possible, but he's doing it. And not only is he popping out kids, but he's popping out videos just as fast.
Salty not used to no podcast condoms.
Somebody poked holes in that shit.
No doubt. Oh man, thanks for the love, guys. We appreciate it. We hope that you were entertained. That's all we end up wanting to do is entertain you guys, share some gaming knowledge, opinions, and all that other shit. Again, I'm gonna let Mr. Kris Steel and Primal Eve get out of here. We gotta let Primal go before she ends up in the bathroom, shits herself probably. Sorry, Primal. That just had to be funny or gross. One or two. Now, Primal hasn't been feeling too well today, but now she'll get over it, right?
Of course, I just need some meat.
That's
all I want.
She needs some meat.
Just send me some meat.
Just not raw chicken. She needs real meat.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'll never eat fucking chicken again. So,
best thing about chicken, it's got some breasts. I love me some of them there succulent breasts. Delicious. Anyway, for the third and fourth fucking time, I think tonight we are getting out of here. You guys have yourself a great evening. We'll catch you next Tuesday if all goes well. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.